All right, so this will be part two. Let's talk about true crime. I see a lot of swords being picked up and a lot of revenge type motives, old grudges, old grievances coming back and being used to motivate people. But I think people need to realize, those of you that are picking up your swords to fight alongside of people, you're hate bonding. And when you're hate bonding, you're always going to fail. You're always going to fail because if you're operating out of a place of negativity, you're doomed. You may win a short victory, but the anger, hate, animosity that you're going to have to sustain to keep this adrenaline rush going for viewers, it's not sustainable. So, some of the key concepts we talked about in part one, I'm just going to read over before we start covering this live again. So, True Crime is a nonfiction literary podcast and film genre in which the author examines a crime and details the actions of people associated with and affected by criminal events. So, something I didn't necessarily cover in the first one, but FEAR is an acronym, false evidence appearing real. And I always interchange the E, expectations. I mean, so many things fit. It really just depends on the circumstance. But the true acronym for FEAR is false evidence appearing real. FEAR is an acronym for false evidence appearing real. There's no true threat of immediate physical danger, no threat of a loss of someone or something dear to us. Actually, nothing there at all. Fear is an illusion, something we fabricate in our minds and pretend is real. It has been speculated that fear could play a role in the popularity of true crime podcasts. These podcasts often recount horrific crimes, which triggers the fear response and the release of adrenaline in the body. Due to the possibility of binging podcasts, adrenaline rushes can be experienced in quick bursts. Another explanation for the popularity of true crime podcasts is due to the serialized nature of crime, in which events happen one after another. What does it mean if a show is serialized? In television and radio programming, a serial is a show that has a continuing plot that unfolds in a sequential episode by episode fashion. I do think this is the beginning motivation for a true crime creator, but as with life, things change. The motivation to begin is innocent. A person begins with a mystery and follows all of the clues to help solve the case. But as is typical in life, you enter a hamster wheel of sorts where people are just existing and drawn to the distracting effect of chaos due to their own traumatic experiences, and true crime's intense nature becomes a consistent distraction from their own problems, especially because crime is so prevalent everywhere. So, sensationalism in journalism and mass media, sensationalism is a type of editorial tactic. Events and topics in news stories are selected and worded to excite the greatest number of readers and viewers. This style of news reporting encourages biased or emotionally loaded impressions of events rather than neutrality, and may cause a manipulation to the truth of a story. Sensationalism may rely on reports about generally insignificant matters and portray them as a major influence on society, or biased presentations of newsworthy topics in a trivial or tabloid manner, contrary to general assumptions of professional journalistic standards. Some tactics include being deliberately obtuse, appealing to emotions, being controversial, intentionally omitting facts and information, being loud and self centered, and acting to obtain attention. Trivial information and events are sometimes misrepresented and exaggerated as important or significant, and often include stories about the actions of people, the content of which is often insignificant and irrelevant to the macro level day-to-day events occurring globally. So, one example that we saw in part one of sensationalism is having you project your own safety fears for your child into the live you are about to consume. Another example from part one would be calling everyone who does not agree with you a pedophile. So, research. The systematic investigation into and study of materials and sources in order to establish facts and reach new conclusions. If it cannot be duplicated, it is not a reputable standard. Why is research so important? The purpose of research extends beyond academia and has a significant impact on society. Research generates knowledge that aids in addressing real world problems and making informed decisions. Research provides a more profound understanding of society and its functions. Humans, it turns out, have what social psychologists call a negativity bias. We tend to pay more attention to bad seeming information than good seeming information. The negativity bias is a cognitive bias that results in adverse events having a more significant impact on our psychological state than positive events. Negativity bias occurs when adverse events and positive events are of the same magnitude, meaning we feel negative events more intensely. How they use fear to manipulate you. Since the moment we're born, society has imposed on us what to do, what to think, and what to feel. And it has conditioned us to believe that if we don't follow its rules, we're bound to get into serious trouble. Fear is the best weapon of all great manipulators. It can move people to do anything, no matter how nonsensical it is. Manipulative people are very aware of the latter and try their best to control how you think and behave by using fear-based tactics. Fear sells like nothing else. Do as they say or else. Afraid and insecure, most people blindly do what they're told, which only provides them with a temporary superficial sense of belonging. Whether you know it or not, fear is constantly being used against you. Neither a man, nor a crowd, nor a nation can be trusted to act humanely or to think sanely under the influence of a great fear. And that quote is by Bertrand Russell. So that's the review of the key concepts that I put forth in part one. So there will be all the source material in the description for this upload. Now, I backed it up just about a minute from where I ended in the first part. So we will continue now.
Computer's gone wrong or something like that.
And let me tell you, Circle Jerks, this is the issue. Chris Hines is tied into this, and I have the whole correspondence between Carl and the detective in the county where Chris lives at. They've invited me into the conversation, and I will be entering the conversation with the detective on Monday, tomorrow. Let me tell you what, Circle Jerks, I don't care what the fuck you ladies think over there in the UK. They're interested in what Chris was involved with these people. He wants every stitch of information, and they are actively investigating the shit out of Chris Hines right now. So I don't care. You can come over here and circle jerk these people all around all you want, but American law enforcement, baby, they're very interested in what these people were doing. So you can come here with your mouth full of cheese, dick. I don't care about that.
Well, most of the circle jerks are from the United States.
Huh?
Most of the circle jerks are from the United States. There's only a couple of them that's not.
Oh yeah, I already got all their names. Ziggy gave them to me. I know who every last one of them is. There's one that lives a mile and a half from Carl.
Before we get into the rest of that sentence, realize those that are standing with you today, let's say TM, BK, Jenna, that's the only examples I'll use. But right here, BK tries to invoke Ziggy, saying Ziggy gave me all of this information. In my opinion, this is a way to influence her. BK is using this tactic to get people to go after Ziggy right here in this moment as they're listening. Oh, in anyone that wants to stand up for circle jerks. So now, probably since this live was probably about 12 hours ago, most likely what's happened is people that are supportive to the circle jerks have went to Ziggy. How dare you give this information to BK? Now, I don't know what's true, what's not. I don't care. There's too many lies to believe damn near anything, okay, from this entire panel. So, and knowing that revenge is the biggest motivator on this panel, I've already given a couple examples in part one. And as I show you after I'm done covering this live, as I show you who these people are that are on this panel right now, they have a lot of enemies. So they have a lot of revenge. I want to remind you that if you're getting riled up and you're saying, okay, here's my opportunity to get back at Circle Jerk, you're going to fail. Because if you align with these people, one thing's for certain, as soon as you're not needed, as soon as you're not necessary, they will throw you to the wolves. Jenna is the weakest link on this chain and will be the first sacrificial lamb, mark my words. Psychic prediction time in a week if Jenna doesn't do everything that they say, which I think she will because she seems to be needing the approval of who I will deem the godmother and godfather of true crime. They act as if they're on the Godfather movie. And they've got mob bosses and enforcers. And if you think about it in those terms, it's kind of laughable how they portray themselves. We heard the fish hatchery example. They can barely speak English. So it is very laughable. These people are only someone online. Their real lives are... I'm not trying to make this a personal attack, but their real lives are very chaotic. Although I don't know much about TM's home life, only rumor and speculation. I do know a bit about BK's, and it is in shambles. And again, him needing to drown out his own problems, he uses this platform to distract him. The more chaos he thrives in, he needs this chaos because his home life is, falling apart. He can't keep a handle on it, but here he is someone important. And again, this isn't a personal attack on BK. This is just the truth. And I know that the truth is not rewarded on this platform, but I've never cared about that. And this is a true outsider's perspective. I'm not in the true crime community. I'm watching it. I barely know any of the people they're talking about. I couldn't name a circle jerk if I tried. Or a jerk. I guess I just found out after my first premiere, or part one, that they're not the circle jerks anymore. So that's how, this is just common sense and logic applied to this live that I watched. And because I'm not able to be emotionally manipulated by these people, because I'm not on this hamster wheel of chaos like most people are. I'm not on this adrenaline rush from the dopamine or the cortisol that's released. I'm not part of that, and I'm not susceptible to it. So it's easy for me to see big picture what is happening. And unfortunately, the people that were in this chat yesterday, the people that have watched it, either pro or for, I want you to remember this. If you stand with TM, DK, Carl, and Jenna today, they will throw you to the wolves as soon as you're not useful anymore. Especially when I review who these creators are and their greatest moments on YouTube, we're going to talk about the check fraud. TM has used that to deflect in her past. She throws people to the wolves, saying that they're part of these organizations. They've already used this tactic before. So I can't believe anyone at this point actually believes them and is falling for it. But as with anything, it's rinse and repeat. I mean, if it worked the first time, might as well use it again and not have to come up with anything new.
So, y'all know who they all are. They need to be very careful.
So that was the threat I played in the first live, and that is absolutely a threat. We're going to get into some more threats throughout this entire live, and I am not an advocate for calling the police, calling CPS, doing anything like that. So please do not get outraged when you see this live. Arm yourself with knowledge and facts. Arm yourself with the knowledge that they want to emotionally manipulate you for your viewership. The way you win this is by stopping to watch all of them. Don't hate watch. Don't get caught up in the drama. There is absolutely not a single true crime creator that is assisted with the missing child case. Not one. So, although the intentions might be good, if you aren't in control of your own life, how is it that you're covering true crime? Especially when you're covering missing children. How can you cover missing children 1 minute and then threaten to use a dead child autopsy pictures and then go through with it? You can't. That means you're completely void of emotion, because one day the family members are going to see this. And this is why I don't watch true crime.
Needs fixing, or maybe your computer's gone wrong, or something like that. Or you're stuck on a question at school, or you've got a problem, or your bike needs fixing, or maybe your computer's gone wrong, or something like that. And if we don't know the answers, we'll find you the answers. Or maybe you just want to come up and chat. We will hide your identity so no one knows who you are and chat. We will hide your identity so no one knows who you are. You will have a Mr. Angel logo, Junior's logo on your avatar, so no one will know your avatar, and we will change your name.
Wow. That's what you do to victims after they've been victimized. Why are they trying to keep these children anonymous before they're victimized? That's crazy.
So that no one can ever know who these children are to begin with.
Yeah, you're killing the trail to the evidence right there.
They're actually taking their identity before they prey on them.
Correct.
Like they're stripping them of their identity before. So this is like, you guys, this is really sick stuff. Like, if this is sensitive, I apologize so much, but I'm not hiding this from anyone. And Circle Jerks, you're up next. You cannot defend this. You just can't. Even Ewok is admitted knowledge also. So Ewok bitch, like, what are you doing? No, not around here.
She's the shoveler. She's gonna cover up.
Junior's logo on your avatar, so no one will know your avatar, and we will change your name. We will give you a name, so that way no one knows who you are. So you can come in total safety. The only people who know who you are me, Auntie Griff, Auntie Stella, and Uncle Christopher.
Now, keep in mind, so Auntie Griff is who you're going to see on the next. I'm going to play a couple of these. You guys need to know what they're defending over there first. I had to play these first. Hold on. The next one is called IPs, phone numbers, and home addresses. Okay. I will drop that link in the chat. Sorry to torture you guys with this. I know it's rough. I'm sick to my stomach. Like, I'm really, like, my nerves are shot.
The only reason why you would get blocked is if you hurt others. We can't have that here. If you've got a kind word to say to someone, to put a smile on their face, then you're welcome here. But if you've got hate in your heart and you don't want to change and you just want to attack or hurt or bully or pick on, then this isn't the channel for you.
And this is totally gross. Like, this video is cringe. So I am absolutely not defending this. I have not watched Carl's video. I will say this. Even a broken clock is right 2 times a day. Okay? But I find it very hard, the conspiracy angle, the way he conducts his research. Now, some of it, I haven't sifted through all of it, but if it can't be duplicated, then I have an issue with it. When someone says, I did the research and they can't show me it. Now, from what I've seen of Carl, he does display some things. But most of the things I've seen him display, like the foot movie, I still don't get it. And not because I don't want to, because that type of conspiracy is just that. Foot fables. That's what it was. But I just reviewed his website where he conducted the Tiffany Marie check. And that looks pretty legit. Not to mention, he tracked that, he named all the donors. Well, within reason, he named the donors. He followed the thing. But there's certain aspects of it, again, because to me, his credibility is shoddy. You can't throw it all out, but you also can't take it as fact. Some of the things are very subjective, and he can take it one way, and I'll take it the other. So it is very concerning to me, but regardless, this video speaks for itself. This is some weirdo shit. Not to mention, I always had some type of feelings for this lady that weren't good. So the story to me was ridiculous. Again, a ward of the state, whatever that means, doing this missing bro. It's weird.
Nothing about it. I think it would be best if she talks about that. I don't know.
So is that true? Do you know if that's true?
I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if it's true or not. She would have to be the one to answer that.
All right. Okay.
Mystery solved. That's an allegation. You needed to sit back and pay attention a little bit before you say anything about Miss Jenna. She didn't, to my opinion, she didn't hide nothing.
I think what you're going to see here is, so now it's very important everybody gets left here in the chat. I told my mods before, don't time anybody out, because this is where all the pieces move around. So not everything you see is going to be true in the chat. A lot of people are going to try to distract, and they're going to try to blame Jenna for things. You know what? We'll sort through all of this. Just, we'll allow all the things, right? Because that's where we see all the deflectors and all that. I like all those things to be left in the chat. So make sure,
Right.
Where is Trixie Star? Anybody?
That's what I want to know, because I heard she was part of this too.
She was. Trixie is the one that merged with Penny. Chase. So Trixie, Penny, Chase, they were all involved with pretty much bringing it alive. The whole billboard, fundraising and stuff. That was Trixie Star. I need to hear from you, please. Aside from all things, hit me up, please, in my email. Be serious.
Can I get no more? I don't know nothing about MZ.
Sorry.
She comes in my chat.
Okay.
So if MZ can come in, MZ, if you're watching, can you please come in and answer these people's question?
All right.
We'll put you in timeout for a minute.
Yeah.
Just for a minute, Mystery. You're going to have to chill out for a minute, baby.
All right. Mystery. All right. So everybody I know this is a hard one. Everyone try to stay chill in the chat. And yes, I can slow it. I don't even know I don't like slowing my chat. For now, you can just slow the chat with your
Ooh, that was the wrong one.
Oh, that's okay. So who was it?
Beach Lady. I didn't mean to time out Beach Lady.
Beach Lady, you got timed out for a minute. I'm so sorry. It's okay.
It timed out 2 people.
To me, if you can't question the creator, now I get that some people are here to disrupt and derail, but if you can't ask simple questions, then there's something wrong. That is a manipulation tactic. That is the biggest sign. If you can't come in and say, hey, respectfully, I don't agree. And when you're met with such anger and animosity, now this example wasn't too bad, but you will see a couple times as they go. Their whole demeanor changes, they completely shut down, and it is solid attack.
Once. I don't know why. Timed out Mystery and Beach Lady. I apologize, Beach Lady. That was not for you, baby. I really apologize.
It's okay. It's only 300 seconds. No worries. Did you get the one you meant to?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
you got it. Okay. You can slow the chat with your own finger, you guys. Like, a lot of people don't realize that. I don't know where that thing is, and it slows me down. It's just slow the chat down with your own finger, I guess. Benny, do you know where the slow chat is?
Accounts and Mystery Angels Juniors, your details, including your address and phone number,
Wow.
will be automatically registered. I have no in process working with us.
It's a honeypot like
Anyone who
Chris
signs
McDonough's.
up, even if you've got VPN, to this account, to Mystery Angels Juniors, your details, including your address.
Did he just say it's a honeypot just like Chris McDonough's?
And phone number will be automatically registered. I have to by law tell you that, so I've just told you that. But then again, if you've got nothing to hide, then it's a good thing, isn't it? Because it means you're safe. It means we're talking to who we're talking to. It means people, young adults, children, can feel safe here, secure.
Let me say something real quick. Jenna is the one who told me all this shit was going on over at Circle Jerks, okay?
Okay, so this comment, Trixie's Creations for you. It's so frustrating. Again, not trying to make this a personal attack. The comment says, is this seriously aimed towards children running to them for, I think that's supposed to be supposed anonymity, with a name like Circle Jerks? So how exactly she got there? Again, common sense and logic, it's lost on most people.
So you're not going to come in here and tell anybody that Jenna would lead me in the direction to go find all this dirt on shit she was involved with. Knock it off. Like, I don't want to fucking hear it. Chill in the chat because you're pissing me off. Jocelyn.
Well, let me bring this up to you, Tiffany Marie. You did not take into account the revenge motive that Jenna is working with. I don't even know the woman, but I could tell you she's clearly set. And when you're getting information from someone, you have to realize what the sender's motivation is to send it. Is it to inform? Is it to help in a retaliation effort? What is their motive? And I think you're so fueled by your revenge motives that you don't care. And that's dangerous.
No, they can come in and say whatever they want to about me.
That's fine, but like, it's getting a little too much and you're not going to distract us. I'm just letting you know, like, this is not going to be a stream where I'm going to be like, oh, Jenna, no. So it's not happening. It's just not happening. We're here to discuss what is going on. This is going to be a long one. So you guys are going to have to deal with it. I know this is rough for all the people that were involved in it and never said anything. But that's not our problem either. Where are all the people that knew about this and said nothing? Whoa. Who all was in that Discord? I want my emails to just start blowing up with information.
Is that Trixie right there?
Huh?
Is that Trixie right there?
Oh, no, is it? Hold on. There's a Trixie in the chat, but it's not her. I don't think
That's Trixie's Creations.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's not the same Trixie. So that's good. I'm glad you asked that, Jenna, because I don't want people to think that she's her. All right, thanks.
Happy to know you're not going to get bullied here. You're not going to get judged.
They're gonna get diddled.
Yep. Right.
If you got a hole in your top, you're not going to be screamed at.
What? What?
Reason why
If you've got a hole in your top, you're not good.
Whoa.
Oh my God, this shit takes my breath away. It's like knocking the wind out of me. Oh my God, I cannot. I just cannot.
There's
you
a
got
whole
a
lot.
hole in your top. If you got a hole in your top, you're not going to be screamed at.
Oh my God, that you made me so sick.
This bitch is gross.
I'm sorry. That is very sickening.
That's very gross.
This stuff is rough. Like Carl has so many videos displaying what is going on. Like,
She speaks on showering, and we understand if you guys have done any research on survivor stories, a lot of times there's going to be water or washing or soap associated to the stories. She's a lot of that verbiage. She's made up her own story about an elephant that's dancing in the shower. And they really desensitize the ideology that children may possess when they think of nakedness, right? So she really dumbs it down, like, oh, silly fox, you take a shower with your clothes on? Like, it's just getting kids comfortable.
Okay, I'm going to take issue with this. Here's why. What is... This situation is gross enough, but again, everything is subjective. So now Benny's painted this illusion like she's now talking about kids getting undressed and weird shit. Okay, he just painted it with this. There's a canvas here. This idiot is saying some weirdo shit that no adult should be saying she wants a chat with 16 and under so Aunt whoever can help you. That's fucking weird and gross. Okay, for one. For two, don't make it what it's not. See, because everything that you're saying is just some kind of false concept that you're trying to push. So Tiffany Marie just a moment ago was wanting you to project your own fear of your own children's safety on this situation. Act as if this is your own child. Well, it's not your own child, for one. For two, don't make it what it's not. It's already gross. Just cover it as it is. But again, they're fueled by a motive that's just bursting at the seams. So you can see it in telltale ways. When they throw everybody's name in, which is about what they're about to do, when they're trying to go after certain people, when they're calling out certain people, when they're threatening them, when they're saying, I know where you are, I'll have all your information, and then drawing in other creators to cause more controversy, more chaos, because the more you're running defending your friends, you're not seeing what's going on. But if you just step back, and again, being an outsider, I don't have any friends to defend. I'm just saying, no, that's manipulation. No, that's not the truth. No, you just contradicted that 5 minutes ago.
Comfortable with the idea that you might become naked around someone you don't really know, potentially.
Right. And see, my sisters, I have a lot of sisters down in chat and a lot of people, from my channel and also my purpose channel, and CJ, she is from the UK and she's like, and also our little group is like, that's not normal. And I didn't watch all the videos, but CJ was explaining them to me. And it was very disgusting.
Well, I'm glad you're here, Jenna. And I just want to thank you.
Thank you. You've
yeah,
always had respect for me, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I really do appreciate you. Like, you've always been helpful. Jenna's a really good person. And everybody who has been over here knows, like, anytime I've ever said, like, is Jenna around? She always has just been there. I don't think I can recall a single time that you have not helped in a situation. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, this one, I was gonna play. I want to get through this shit. It's making me so sick.
Bobby turns round and says, I can't wait till tomorrow. Me and my friends, my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 friends. We're going with to school. Yes, I know, but you've got to be a good boy and help me pack all your stuff you need. And my teacher says we need extra jumpers because it's going to be cold. And don't forget my medicines, Mummy.
Pause
No,
right
I
there really
won't.
quick.
You go to
Now,
bed, and when you
what
wake
that sounds like to me when you're talking about telling kids to bring extra jumpers. Now, if you're not aware, a jumper in the UK is a top. So she's telling kids to pack extra jumpers when they come to Mama Chips. Now, that could be, in my opinion, there could be some materials that were going to be made and they wanted different clothing, but probably more probable is that they want a change of clothes for the children to potentially take them on the run. That's my opinion.
Right. That's my opinion as well.
Yep.
And this right here is why the true crime community as a whole is so freaking dangerous. Again, growth. I am appalled. I am disgusted. This is. They skipped forward, I think. They skipped over a chunk of this. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know how we got where we were just a minute ago to this freaking story. This is weird and gross, but I get it. The creeper fucking said jumpers, shirts, pajamas. I don't know what a jumper is. Some kind of clothes. Okay, gross. Fucking gross. But to then add compounding information that this fucking idiot didn't say, again, I take issue with that. It's you're sensationalizing what's already should be. Okay, I'm calling this out. This is not cool. But now you're compounding it. And I need to know what the motive is.
No, this ain't normal. This is
No,
not
this
normal.
is not okay. This is not okay. And I'm sorry because I'm sure that it's like causing stress for people. I'm sorry if this is like a trigger for anybody. Please close it out if it's too much. You can come back and listen to them defending this shit. Like if this is enough for you and this is your limit, please go and come back because I get it. I wish I could walk away from it at this point as I like want a cigarette so bad, but I'm like just sick. I don't even think I could smoke right now. But this bothers me. She bothers me in general. I never liked the look of her. She always stressed me out a lot. I never could understand why I felt the way I did looking at this woman and listening to her. And now I understand what that instinct was. And like, yeah, it's a lot. I've exposed myself to her too much, to be quite honest with you. And this is a lot of exposure to stuff that's really upsetting to a lot of people. So I have to apologize in advance. This is not a stream for everyone, but it's important. So bear with us, please.
No, I won't. You go to bed, and when you wake up in the morning, it'll be there. Yay! So Bobby, Tom, Stella, and Griffey. Stella and Griffey. So Bobby, Tom, Stella, and Griffey.
And Griffey, circle jerks. It wouldn't matter what you think because the proprietor of this enterprise has already tied you to it. So it's all futile what you're doing. You'd have to figure that out in court, Griffey.
Then they wake up, and it's morning, and they run downstairs in their pajamas.
And let me mention, he said, you'll have to figure that out in court. Okay, so has this information been turned in? If it has, why aren't we waiting for the prosecution of this evidence? If it hasn't, what are we doing here? Because now you've just convicted these people. You've just put a stain on these people from people because you have a voice, because you have an audience. You've stained the jerks, Griffey, Stella, whoever else. Even this fucking weirdo on the screen here. Without any evidence. No charges, no past crimes, no nothing. You've just called all these people PDF files and sympathizers. There's no real PDF files here. This is fucking disgusting and gross. But who made you judge, jury, executioner?
And then they run back upstairs again because they're They have to get dressed first. They can't go with pajamas on. Cool. And it's morning. And they run downstairs. Yay. So Bobby, Tom.
Okay, and also, all right, I just covered this recently. The repeating of information, repeating. So they have went back, played it, went back, played it, went back, played it. This is 5 or 6 times now. There's a reason they keep reviewing and playing it. So I'm going to skip forward a little bit. It's a programming technique. And we are going to experience some dead air shortly, so I'll try to skip through it.
That Stella and Griffey need to get changed out of pajamas with Bobby and Tommy, right? So that's grooming. This is beyond grooming, if you ask me. This is far surpassed.
Okay, and just my general interpretation, let me make the screen bigger so you guys can see. Now, listen. Again, this is subjectively looking at it. Chip's story. Bobby, Tommy, Stella, and Griffey go to bed. Okay. Creepy as fuck. Don't get me wrong. But if, and this is subjective, if this fucking weirdo on the screen here is reading a bedtime story, so you, as a parent, right, watch YouTube Kids, okay? If we're just gonna fucking make shit up, let's make up shit on the other side. If I'm a parent and I want to stick a device in my kid's face to read it a bedtime story, is this what weirdo was going for? Now, or you could follow what Benny said. I mean, but it's so fucking subjective, and they're skipping around. So I said, how did we get here? Well, I noticed they changed the damn video. So that's, in my opinion, another sensationalism example. They went from one creepy ass shit, but then switched it to another creepy ass shit, but mixed it together. In my opinion, if you're covering something, you need a clear start and end point so you can tell your viewers, hey, this is this video, here you go. This is this video, here you go. Because I was paying attention and somehow missed that they changed the damn video. As in, and you know, when you're doing this live format, you got to realize most people are also chatting, so they're not always 100% focused. Which is why when I watch something important, I won't be in the chat much, because it's pretty rare that people can actually do both.
It's very weird because Griffey and Stella is a lesbian couple, and now you've entered in some men and some children. And you know, if any of you are firm believers of Christ, then you already know that there's problematic things in the proclivities that Stella and Griffey have. Right now, I'm not here to judge that. I'm only a believer in Christ.
So this is another opportunity for Benny to throw his Leviticus 18:22 into everything. So, sorry, one second. Let's not confuse the issue. Either you follow Old Testament, like some people do, or you follow New Testament. But if you believe in Jesus Christ, Benny Keys, the Old Testament is done. Jesus Christ died for our sins, which takes the Old Testament out. So when you're operating that gay people, Leviticus 18:22, you're actually disrespecting Jesus and why he died. Maybe you missed that part in the good book. But Benny Keys thinks all gays are going to hell. So there's that.
And I believe the word, so that's problematic. So you've got women with proclivities, and I would say they have real proclivities being attached to this. They have proclivities, and they want to be around children.
And so now, proclivities. Let's pull this up. So again, we're clouding the issue. What does proclivities mean? A tendency to choose or do something regularly, an inclination or predisposition toward a particular thing. Let me back it up.
That Stella and Griffey need to get changed out of pajamas with Bobby and Tommy, right? So that's grooming. This is beyond grooming, if you ask me. This is far surpassed.
It's very weird because Griffey and Stella is a lesbian couple, and now you've entered in some men and some children. And if any of you are firm believers of Christ, then you already know that there's problematic things in the proclivities that Stella and Griffey have. Right now, I'm not here to judge that. I'm only a believer in Christ, and I believe
Problematic things in the proclivities. Okay, does he speak English? Asking for a friend. Seriously. Benny, maybe you should try to learn what words actually mean, because I'm pretty sharp and you confuse the fuck out of me, and you're throwing all these things trying to make something stick. You just look like an asshole. So
the word. So that's problematic. So you've got women with proclivities, and I would say they have real proclivities being attached to this. They have proclivities, and they want to be around children. So yeah, this is very problematic.
never mind. I'm gonna keep going because
The world is a scary place.
and if I didn't say it already, they changed the video again. CHIPS Worldwide Recruitment Drive. So different subject altogether. Okay, here's where the dead air goes. Let me try to.
So we're going to go live. On Mystery Angels, we're going to do 2 sort of hours. For half of the world, we're going to do 6 p.m. Around that time, 5, 6, 7 p.m. And on the other half of the world, we will do 6 p.m. on there when it's their 6 p.m. as well. Because around the world, a lot of people have different times. So we've got to make sure we get everybody under the age of 16 to have a chance to join the Mystery Angels.
Wow.
And not have to stay awake till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. To do 2 sort of hours. For half of the world, we're going to do 6 p.m. Around that time, 5, 6, 7 p.m. And on the other half of the world, we will do 6 p.m. on there when it's their 6 p.m. as well. Because around the world, a lot of people have different times. So we've got to make sure we get everybody under the age of 16 to have a chance to join the Mystery Angels and not have to stay awake till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's not what we want. We want
kids around the world.
you to have sleep, lots and lots of sleep to let your brains heal. Not too much, just enough. So if you think this might sound like what you're interested in, then please come join us. Come and join our Mystery Angel family juniors, where you, no matter who you think you are, no matter who you want to be accepted here. I understand.
Benny, will you do me a favor? Because I can't run my stream at the same time I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
Will you pull up that Circle Jerks live at 34 minutes?
Yes.
Or 33 minutes about? And while I down.
Okay. It was the one from 8 days ago, correct?
Yes. Do you have it?
Give me just a moment.
I had to restart my laptop. That's why. But I want to
I
add
feel like you was having a little Okay.
What?
Let's see here. Circle Jerks. Okay. 8 days ago. Have they taken it down?
No, I'm going to send it to you right now.
Okay. All right, I'll be ready when she comes back. I guess in the meantime, hello, Beneficent. Good to see you, lovely. What I can play it from the phone just so you can hear the audio for a moment. We'll go to 32.
Special. You'll never be Paloma, making things happen in the real world. You need to accept that and stop doing these petty games of trying to pretend that there's some great drama and some great.
Okay. Police and YouTube are doing their own work too, right? Yes, they are. PJ's Wish. They're absolutely. It's been reported domestically and internationally. Oakley and Grandma. No, she's not for summer at all. Okay, you ready, Miss Tiffany?
Okay, so he just said it's been reported domestically and internationally. So if it's been reported, why are we not waiting for an investigation to occur? Okay, here's again my issue with internet sleuthing. When you're more worried about covering something sensational rather than putting the work in, on CSI, 45 minutes, the entire case is wrapped up, solved, you name it. FBI, CIA, U.S. Marshals, all of those shows, 45 minutes, start to finish. Find the body, solve the crime. That's not how it works. And what I feel like I'm watching is this version of the criminal process that takes years. They want it now. They're willing to convict you now before any supporting evidence and research is shown. And the audience is willing to digest it before any evidence has ever been shown. And then when they do show the evidence, it's so underwhelming and subjective. That's why they don't show it.
Benny, is when I go to restart my computer, it's going to knock you off from sharing, huh? So play a little bit of it. I'm going to smoke, and then we'll, while I do that, we'll just talk about it real quick. Like, play enough that we can discuss it while I do that after, because you're not going to be able to share your screen.
What time
You're
stamp
nothing
do you want me to go to?
You'll never be Paloma, making things happen in the real world.
Thank you, Pauline.
You need to accept that and stop doing these petty games of trying to pretend that there is some great drama and some great secret and possibly something really, really bad in the.
Well, we've already proved you to be a lie, Pearl, because you said she returned every dime and she did not. I've already shown you $344 unaccounted for, right?
Legal.
I need that.
Anybody who actually knows what went on knows that's not the case. It's Paloma being kind.
So that's another motivation for why we're here today. The $344 that Benny Keith has not been returned and what he feels he's owned. And he's going to take that money and use it as a weapon. Give me what I want or else. That's a tactic to manipulate people and control them with fear.
What we're getting ready to hear here is her starting to cuck for Paloma, right? She's going to tell me and Tiffany and everyone else.
And here is yet another motive. I'm telling you, these people have nothing but enemies. So Paloma is one of the most absolutely exceptional people I've ever met. She's not here for anything but to spread love, true love, for no other reason than that is her purpose on this planet. And she triggers the fuck out of these three. So you're going to hear a lot of things. Now, Paloma did say some of the coolest shit. And if you're new here, I'm a total asshole. Not typically, okay? Not all the time. But when I've had enough, you can tell. I have a reputation for that. Typically, I'm fair and calm. Normally, I'm funny as hell. And then there's that part of me when I've had enough, when you have attacked me, attacked everyone that I love more than anything, I'm kicking your fucking door in. That's my personality. My channel is entertainment. Okay? I typically don't cover things like this. Now, these people need the chaos. I don't.
Else in the world how we feel about Valoma's threat, and that Valoma's threat is now absolved because she apologized. Now let me tell you what.
And I'm not sure where this whole she apologized thing came from. This situation he's talking about is over 11 months old. Therefore, if you want to talk about an imminent threat, which if a threat is to be believed, it has to be imminent. This is 11 months. You're going to pick up on somebody. Not to mention, how many times has Benny Keith threatened to rape people? And yes, I said rape. He wanted to stretch Ernie Shell's asshole band or something. He wanted to have people rape Tiffany Marie. I have not forgotten. So, this is a lot of hot air and hilarious and the most hypocritical thing I've seen this week. It's only Monday, 8 a.m. So
That cut, Benny, was to me in purple.
Right. Now, Bombshell thinks it's to her. And it doesn't even matter who it's to, because once you threaten someone's life, Circle Jerks, a simple apology does not stop the police from coming, right? It's like trying to...
It was to Bombshell. Again, 11 months ago. There was no apology, nor will there ever be an apology. You can only push people so far before they push back. Now, Tiffany Marie, Benny Keys, Bombshell, Jenna, Carl, they want to push people so then they can clip your reaction and use it against you. We are unapologetic over here. Me and Valoma. We don't apologize. When you've pushed us, typically even-keeled, hilarious, entertaining, charming, fun people, and you pushed us to our limit, don't get mad when the snake bites you. After all, we're all snakes. We can all strike, or we can leave. Now, these people who consistently strike everyone for no reason other than they're just shitty people. They want to come at us and say, oh my gosh, selective outrage? No. Benny Keith. Was it, clearly one apology was enough. What about when you released Tiffany Marie's nudes? What about, was a simple apology enough? That is revenge porn. So, no. It has to be an imminent danger or it's not believable. There is no threat here that you're going to call law. Not to mention, this was directed at Bombshell. If you go after... Now, Bombshell and Tiffany Marie have an entire Discord of Valoma's son, who passed away, I believe he was 21. You will consistently hear Benny Keys bring up Valoma's son, who was killed in an accident at 21 years old. And you wonder why she threatens to skull fuck you? You're lucky it was her. Because I might have actually done it in real life.
Rob a bank for $60,000 and then return it tomorrow morning with $62,000. Think you're going in the clear, right? And apologize. You still going to jail. So you fucking idiots need to stick to your UK bullshit, or you need to follow what Carl's doing, because Carl has a very good understanding. You people are over here with your opinions, thinking that your opinions and your bullshit changes the fucking scope of police investigations, and I'm here to tell you it does not. It does not, because because someone that is tied to all of these people in Chris Hines is being sought domestically here in Virginia by detectives for these offenses. Right now, I can show you.
But just like when you turned on your mods and took things from their lives and expanded them and made them disgusting and over-exaggerated.
Where's the rest of the circle jerks? That's what I want to know. Like, this is as good as it gets, right?
And plain out lies in most cases. This is what you're doing to Veloma. You've cost enough people now that lots of people are aware of the way that you play the game. That you will quite.
But I'm guessing when Tiffany plays the game, she shows her face when she does it, doesn't she? She doesn't have to come here and hide her face when she does her business. Right? Look at all these people here. This is a fucking menagerie of pedophilia, in my opinion.
Quite happily lie and hit people at their most personal
agree.
spot and undermine their feelings and emotions and take things that are personal to them. And
Who is this bitch? Pardon my French. Who is this lady?
Can you hear me, Benny?
I can hear you now, yes.
All right. Cool. All right. So is my sound okay right here like
Yeah, you're
this?
good.
All right, then I'm going to stay like this on my phone.
Okay, all right. You want me to progress? You could just direct me with, tell me stop, start, whatever.
No, you're good. You're good. I just want to make sure that everybody understands what's happening here and following. So like if anyone comes in the chat and they don't understand, it's really easy to sum it up. So you could tell people to go back to the beginning. Like I know a lot of people will join late or whatever, but it's not like anything, like mostly just for like my mods. I know it's like moving kind of fast in the chat. So for my mods, just to say like simply to go back kindly or whatever. I know a lot of people want the whole scoop when they come in. You can't really summarize this in just
No, and to Libby
one
Lessons,
comment,
that's cute. Your FYI is very fucking darling and precious. However, what you believe or do not believe does not stop the scope of an active investigation that is currently taking place right now. Okay, so just an FYI for you, madam. Love you like a fat little kid loves cake, but that FYI shit is the reason why all these ladies right here, including yourself, think that your opinion is what can stop a police investigation. It will not.
No, because Libby, first of all, I'm going to be kind and let you stay here because I think you know a lot of things. So I'm glad you're showing yourself. You guys always do. But see, this is the thing. Admits, and so does Ewok on this. Tangeray also. Your comment is null and void because all three of these people admit to having knowledge.
Right.
So you can't say that.
Tangeray was a mod of Nita's.
Oh wow.
So she knows all about it.
So it's very important to know. Thank you, Jenna. Yeah, Libby, you better calm down.
This is right here a correspondence between the Lee County Sheriff, where Christopher Hines lives at. You can see here at the bottom here, September 20th, they want any info that anyone has in reference to Chris Hines, who is tied to this. So I would be very careful.
How is he tied to it? Have you explained that? You're throwing people's names in. Oh, they're tied to it. Veloma's tied to it. Is Veloma tied to it? Damn. The Ewok lady. The jerks. How? How in the hell did you tie any of them to this? Show us. I mean, you're so quick, even though you've turned this over to who? Which agency is investigating this? I have so many questions. Now, you throw out little things like, oh, I'm calling a detective tomorrow. Well, why are you going live about this before you've handed anything over? Why? Which agency? Who reported it? I mean, there's a million questions I have. Again, I have no gain in any of this. In fact, me even covering this, I'm going to lose more than I'll ever gain. But I don't care. This is the right thing to do. People need to wake up and detach from this because this is garbage. It's absolutely garbage. It might be the dumbest presentation I've ever seen. Oh, we're going to mix a bunch of videos together so it looks really bad. Dude, the bitch is gross. Okay, she's supposedly dead. So what does it matter? Oh, you're trying to deflect from something that's about to be exposed would be my best guess. But that's me just guessing. And you leave me to do nothing but guessing because everything that you're showing is a waste of time.
and giving your fucking stupid opinions about this shit, because your dumb fucking opinions do not change the scope of law enforcement investigations whatsoever. Nor do
Right.
your apologies. They don't change shit.
Hold on. Your dumb fucking opinions, which you're giving to us now for 3 hours. We're on an hour of 3 hours of dumb fucking opinions and revenge motives and sensationalism and lies and manipulation. They don't change into a criminal investigation.
Shit. Apologize all the way down to jail and see if they let you out. It does not mean nothing. They want this shit. And this is, I'm not going to show more, but I have.
Because you have nothing more to show. I mean, why show this screenshot? Why? Oh, because someone somewhere is contacting law enforcement. Let me ask you a question, a serious question. Benny Keys, how many times have you called the law on a live stream? I barely watch you, and I do. I laugh. You make me laugh harder than anyone else on this platform. When you're not doing the most ridiculous things like this, you are hilarious. But then you do this because you're unchecked. All of those people in your circle don't give a shit about you enough to tell you, dude, what are you doing? And you're so driven by revenge because of your domestic life and your potential incarceration or ex-domestic situation that you've ran into the arms of Tiffany Marie, who is a whole ass mess. I read energy, and you people are insane. And I don't mean certifiable. I mean, your energy is so ridiculous, you don't know whether you're coming or going. So everything that you're putting out makes no logical sense whatsoever. And I guarantee police hang the phone up and laugh.
Lots of this correspondence, and I'm invited in. He wants me to deal with it too. So, Chris, you're going to have to worry about me too, buddy.
And things that traumatize them and drag them forward. The way that you treated your woman was just disgraceful. I'm not at all surprised that you would take a grieving woman and try to tear her apart like this.
A grieving woman who wanted to strap somebody's head to a fucking front of a truck and skull fuck it. And we think that
Why did the grieving woman, whose grief was compounded by all of her son's information getting turned into something completely insane. So, Mr. Enchanted Life Path, and I will cover this, did a expose on who he thinks Veloma is. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. And Benny Keys, Tiffany Marie, and Jenna run with it. It's not even funny. It's so fucking stupid. It's like foot fables all over again.
any apology after that is suffice. No, you mental masturbationists do. You mental masturbationists do think that absolves Veloma of what she does. All Jenna has to do right now is call the police and say she fears for her life and her life has been threatened by Stephanie. Right? That's
And listen, again, this recording that they're hanging on to for dear life, the recording, it had nothing to do with Jenna nor Purple. I'm not. This is the first time I've ever heard that. For one. For two, it was to somebody else entirely. That's not even represented here. So they're taking. That would be like me taking a clip of mine. I don't go willy-nilly saying that. I've said some crazy shit, though. It would be like my most famous prank call to Mama T's hotel room, and Benny Keys taking that and said, I'm in fear for my life. Bro, it had nothing to do with you. So you're again misleading your audience that this horrible threat was made. Okay. If you keep poking the bear and then the bear wakes up and bites you, that's absolutely not anything that you can hang on to and sensationalize. Again, Benny Keys, have you threatened to rape anybody this month? It was only 3 months ago that you threatened to have Tiffany Marie raped.
All she has to do, and all of this shit melts away like butter in the sun. Let's be very clear about that. It does not matter. Paloma is still walking the streets of the free because Jenna and Purple Phoenix have not reported her for this violent, murderous threat.
They cannot, because it wasn't a violent, murderous threat. And to meet the criteria of an imminent threat, it can't be from 11 months ago.
I digress.
Because this is just your modus operandi. This is what you do. This is the Tiffany way. You're a bog standard goldfish in a small pool.
Okay, there
Look at
it
yourself
goes.
in the mirror.
There you go.
Flap your gills, accept what you are, move on.
Paloma's a beautiful soul. Yeah, one that lies about how her son died at least twice, right?
I told you they believe the narrative Carl spun. And it's disgusting. How they continuously bring up her son is disgusting. It's not their story to tell. You would think them being, used to covering children's cases, that they would have any kind of coup. He just used words like mental masturbation, fish hatchery. He just, again, referred to Leviticus 18:22. He has a fucking ankle monitor on. He's awaiting a trial. He just got arrested. But yet, online, he's someone important. Only because the blind will follow. And it's absolutely pathetic at this point.
While she's threatening to skull fuck women's truck skulls to the front of her truck.
I mean,
Now, if you want to accept that apology, I would tell you to go ahead and accept that apology because you have not been.
There was never an apology, and there will never be an apology because of situations just like this. Bow and kiss the ring, or you're a PDF file.
Terroristically threatened like Jenna and Purple Phoenix have. So I guess if Veloma wants to act crazy and Jenna and Purple feel itchy, they could just call and they'll come and get Veloma immediately.
She didn't threaten me. She got brought into this sector by 6 of them to come after me in Purple.
So who?
No, she absolutely didn't. If you know anything, Jenna, if you know anything about Veloma, she doesn't want a war. I don't know you, Jenna, but I can assure you, just like I got on Purple's panel the other day, I don't want no problems with you, lady. You have never done anything to me. And the internet back and forth, I don't find myself in. I don't go fight other battles because Veloma doesn't want anyone to fight her battles. Just like I don't want people going to fight. I fight my own battles the way I want to fight them. No one needs to defend me. That's exactly how Veloma feels. That's why we get along. We're not here for a popularity contest. We're here just to entertain ourselves or whatever. She has a different purpose. I just like to make people laugh. But the moment I see a group of people with a crowd of 700 in their audience bow down to me, or you're a PDF file, and we'll have the crazy Carl put you in a ring, I take issue to that. I take a lot of issue to that because we're not going to be obedient. It's never going to happen.
Whomever she made this threat to, that threat that she made is called a terroristic threat, and that is, in most states, a 3-year felony, Veloma.
Right.
That means you grieve your son for 3 years behind a penitentiary glass. That's what you get. So you need to be very careful about the shit you come here and spew out of your sewer, baby. Straight up.
whole marriage made in hell, and we're all having to experience the result of it. Tiffany,
We're all having to experience it. You chose to experience it. That's like the choice of picking a scab off or not. You have the choice.
Right.
You don't pick your scab off and then cry to everybody about how it hurts. That's your problem. You need to swallow it and live with it.
your man, the one you're allied to now, whether he's just your BFF or the man you've got your sights on, I don't care. Either.
Well, you just made me and him gay, so I think you do care. Does anyone have anything they want to add to this at this point?
No, I just think that they try to cover up everything that has to deal with them, but they try to like put things on other people that is not true.
Oh, Benny, can you go highlight that comment down at the bottom that we had found earlier?
Yes, Elizabeth.
Yes.
Elizabeth got her money back. I, however, did not, and we've proved that categorically, right? Now, I don't know why Elizabeth Lander is cucking for them, right? This lady right here, she's been harassing me. Kiki's eyes. Meanwhile, she's got her kid all over the fucking internet, right? Very strange that she's over here. If you go click on Elizabeth Lander and you go to her, or Kiki's eyes, I'm sorry, you go to Kiki's eyes, she's got her daughter splashed all over the internet. I do not know why she's doing this while she's over here with what appears to be the entrance lobby to pedophilia.
So now, not only just what did I just say? If you do not agree with me, you are a PDF file. Now he's this lady does not have a channel. He just points this lady out. Here's what the comment says. Benny goes where the money is. Laughy face, laughy face, laughy face. That's the crime that she committed to be called a PDF file. I just seen a video. I shared it on my community page yesterday of a lady in tears bawling. I couldn't even barely make out what she was saying, wanting to end her life because of this right here. That's not being sensational. That's telling the truth. He took such offense because his ego is so fragile to that comment. The comment that says, Benny goes where the money is. That he just called this woman either a PDF file or hanging out with PDF files. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. This is why I'm doing this today.
Okay. So, yeah, it's all funny, Kiki's. This is all for you, baby, too.
Way, he is a total scumbag.
Well, they're a
You
good match.
do not stand up for women. You do not. Remember all.
I will not stand for women that won't stand up for themselves, but I will not kick, stomp, or punch them, even if they kick, stomp, or punch me. Circle jerkist. I tell you, you know what a circle jerk is? A circle jerk is a crook that gets robbed by a crook. That's what that is. This don't even make no fucking sense, right? I guess if you're, you know, I don't know. If somebody moves your arm, it's not gay, I guess, right? I don't know what this is. This is very strange.
All those streams you did where you believe the victim, remember those? You are a mockery of your own self. That's why nobody takes you serious.
Why are they faceless? I don't know. You've already threatened them. You know who they are, their identities, where they're at, where they live. Why wouldn't they be faceless? So you can't target and harass them by calling CPS on them, by getting them fired from their jobs. Danny, these are all things you've done legitimately or had a hand in doing. You call the police on live more than anybody I know. If I wasn't insane, which I am, I wouldn't dox my address, my phone number. Every time I get a death threat in my chat, I'm like, oh, by the way, here's where I live. Fuck around and find out. Some people aren't like that. Some people care about their life. I'm not afraid of bullshit.
She's talking to me.
Right. Meanwhile, this expose with all this help right here only got 1,100 views. Wow. Damn. This is
We're
sad.
about to give them all the attention they deserve.
Because they're not going to sit there and sensationalize everything. If I wanted 1 million views, I could get it by doing this same shit right here. Again, key concepts that we covered.
we're about to make you ladies famous today. Y'all about to be infamous.
Again, that's a threat. They're so triggered by the Paloma threat, but he's made 100.
That lady has the most annoying laugh.
You know, Paloma could give less.
And it's like she laughs at her own jokes too. Nobody else laughing, just this lady laughing all through this. It's very, very. It's a very what do you call it? It's a very annoying but very like disturbed laugh. Like she's very uncomfortable here.
Right.
It's a very uncomfortable sounding laugh.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think we all agree.
It's just all of this is uncomfortable. Yeah, we're talking about little kids, and look at these very child-friendly, inviting avatars. Right? I mean, I know what most of your ladies' faces look like now because I got your info from Ziggy.
How an apology should be made. And
Paloma gave the apology in the way that it should be made after threatening to cut someone's head off and skull fuck them to the front of a truck. Right?
Right.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's like apologizing to a deer after you shoot it down to eat it. I'm sorry.
I see you, Carl. No, you're not blocked here. Welcome, Carl. Carl is the one that Enchanted Life Path was the one that found these videos of Chip earlier that we played. Those were the links I was dropping in the chat. My mods are dropping. So that is the person who was able to find all of those videos of Chip over on Smule, where she's trying to gather all the little children under 16. So thank you so much, Carl.
Wanting to get in contact with Carl so they can speak, privately, because she does the same thing he does.
Okay. Okay, so Jenna, do you have an email so you can link up with him that you want to give?
Or we
CJ,
can forward it privately if you would.
Okay.
CJ, she's in chat, so I know she wants to talk to him. She wants to talk to him because she's in the UK as well, and she, she's a hunter as well.
Carl, one of these ladies said they live about 1.5 miles from you. They know right where you live. And
So this I don't know if this is a new term, or clearly I don't watch true crime, so I wouldn't really necessarily know about it. Or if they're calling themselves PDF file hunters. I'm not quite sure, so I don't want to get like super sensitive about it, but legitimately, she's another hunter. Come on, people. This is delusional. Why is nobody else seeing that? Am I legitimately the only one? Because I looked for lives to cover this yesterday, and cricket, and I'm like, pick a side or you're a PDF file. Hello, the side is clear, not with y'all freaks. And again, not viewing this content, not hate watching, have one person in a group of people record it and then watch it off this platform. Because this shit needs to be iced out. And that's how you win.
And it was sort of aggressive in the way she said it. Sort of like
it was I believe it was Ewok.
Yeah,
we'll have to see though. Yeah,
I got her name, Carl. I'll send it to you now.
to mention how quickly afterwards the Paloma made that statement that she apologized. But
yeah, because she probably found out it was a 3-year felony. That's why I would hurry up and make a fucking apology too. So I guess that what my hunt is now is Bombshell said that was made to her. And I guess that we need to lean on Bombshell and get her to report Paloma for death threats is what we need to do. And we need to make an example out of Stephanie. That's what we need to do.
Yes. Let's make an example of how dumb you are. Mr. I threaten to rape people when I get pissed. Should we call Ernie Shell? Oh, that's right. You guys all do this to each other because it's some dumb shit. So don't be mad when people fucking do it back and give you a taste of your own fucking medicine. Because if I found out that my deceased son had an entire Discord made about him where you shared his information and dishonored a kid's memory, when you're supposed to cover cases like that, but you handled that situation with such indignant fucking cruelty, nah, bruh, fuck off. And no, there was never an apology, and there's never gonna be an apology. You guys aren't owed anything. In fact, I think it's pretty laughable that you're so up in arms that somebody gave you a fucking taste of your own medicine. And don't even get me started on Bumshill.
So
Right.
I advocate for that. And we'll see if the police accept that apology. And
So it's really funny that he's harping about the $344 that he feels needs to be refunded to him. What about all the people Bumshill ripped off?
judge and the DA.
What about the $1,500 check that Tiffany needs to send to that rescue squad? I mean, legitimately, money makes you people act like this.
Maybe, you know, the DA coordinator, the grand jury. We'll see if that apology holds any weight, period.
Everybody forgets about the apology. Everybody acts like.
And, you know, Tiffany raised a great point about this portion of the segment. She said, where is that fucking apology? Where is it? Because the threat was pulled down, and the only one that has it is Amber's bald spot. They're the only one that has that. It's been
Well, I
taken.
have it on my channel.
You have it on your
played it
channel?
Oh yeah, I played the clip. One of my
I'm actually going to make a new intro, and I'm putting that fucking clip in the intro because it is the most awesome shit I've heard on this fucking platform. Benny Keys, you look like a fucking schoolgirl with all the threats you've made compared to that one. That one was beautiful and creative and articulate all at the same time. I've never been starstruck until I heard that recording, and then I was like, who is that lady? She needs to be my best friend.
my friends, she clipped it and she sent it to me, and I played it on my channel when I first met Valoma.
What were your feelings about Valoma when you first met her, Miss Jenna?
Deceiving. Because she actually went up on a panel to try to come at me because I was exposing one of the circle jerks who was a scammer, and did
Which
not
one
know
was
her.
that, Miss Jenna?
Lolita.
Lolita.
Yeah,
Don't cry for me, Lolita.
Yeah, Lolita.
Okay.
So she wanted all the information, so when I was coming out with it, but it wasn't up to me. So it was a person that was coming forward.
Okay, fair enough. You want me to continue on, madam?